So, let's talk about this big, stubborn lie that just won't go away when it comes to our new Cowboys defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus. You've probably heard it from pundits, maybe even bought into it yourself. The idea that Eberflus just doesn't like to blitz. It's like folks decided to slap that label on him and never looked deeper. And honestly, I can't even blame you because I fell for it too at first. But here's the thing. We're Cowboys fans, right? We dig into the details, we call out the lazy narratives, and that's exactly what we're about to do right now. This myth has gotten louder ever since the Cowboys brought him in. People say, well, with Dan Quinn gone and Mike Zimmer out too, this defense is suddenly going to get soft up front, it's going to be static, conservative, all that nonsense. But does that really hold up? Not if you actually look at what Eberflus has done recently. The fact is, it's a lot more complicated than just throwing around blitz percentages from 4 years ago and acting like that's the whole truth. Now I get it. Blitzing is a big deal for us. We're used to a certain swagger on defense. When you have dogs like Micah Parsons out there, you don't want a guy calling plays who's scared to send pressure. That's why this narrative matters. It hits at the heart of how aggressive this team will look come game day. But here's the kicker. When you peel back the layers, you realize that Eberflus is not anti-blitz at all. He's just a whole lot smarter about how and when he does it. So stick around, because we're about to break down where this myth even came from, what the numbers really say, and why this Cowboys defense under Eberflus might be even more exciting than you think. And hey, if you're fired up for this kind of honest breakdown, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now and help us get to our goal of 15,000 subscribers. Turn on that notification bell too, so you never miss a single update. And tell me in the comments, did you buy into this Eberflus blitzing myth, or did you always know better? I want to hear what you think. Ready to dive into the real story? Let's keep going. All right, now that we've called out the myth, let's talk about where it actually came from. If you dig into Eberflus's time as defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, it's easy to see why people slapped the "doesn't blitz" label on him. The numbers on the surface back that up. His Colts defenses ranked near the bottom of the league in blitz rate. We're talking 29th, 27th, 31st, and 29th. If you just look at that, it screams, this dude hates sending extra pressure. And for a lot of fans and even analysts, that was all they needed to run with the narrative. But here's the thing. Context is everything. What those numbers don't show you is what he was working with in Indy. Those Colts defenses had a completely different roster build. They didn't have a Micah Parsons. They didn't have the same front seven explosiveness that Dallas has right now. Eberflus had to play the cards he was dealt. And sometimes, that means you lean on more coverage and less blitzing because that's the smart way to squeeze every ounce out of your personnel. It's like, imagine asking a NASCAR driver to win the Daytona 500 in a family minivan. Good luck with that, right? Eberflus knew his guys weren't built to get exotic with heavy blitz packages every other snap, so he didn't force it. That doesn't make him soft, it makes him strategic. And when you fast forward to his time in Chicago, the story actually flips. See, before he was let go as the Bears' head coach, Eberflus's defense ranked 9th in the league in blitz rate. That's a huge jump. Even if you filter out the run plays, he was still 12th. So clearly, when he had the pieces and a scheme that made sense, he wasn't shy about dialing up the pressure. It's like the dude has a switch. He adapts to what he's got, and you better believe he's got plenty to work with now in Dallas. And here's where I want to hear from you. Do you think fans outside of Cowboys Nation even bother to look this stuff up? Or do they just recycle the same tired talking points? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you're enjoying this breakdown so far, hit that like button. It really helps the channel keep growing so we can keep bringing you these no-nonsense Cowboys deep dives. Let's keep rolling, because in a second, we're going to break down exactly how Eberflus likes to blitz, and why it's so different from what we're used to seeing in Dallas. So now that we've cleared up the lazy numbers, let's get into the real meat of it. How Matt Eberflus actually blitzes when he decides to pull that trigger. Because here's the part that separates him from guys like Dan Quinn and Mike Zimmer. It's not about whether he blitzes or not, it's about how he does it. And trust me, there's a big difference here that every Cowboys fan should understand. See, under Quinn and Zimmer, you'd see the Cowboys send the house sometimes. 6, 7 guys crashing the pocket, leaving the corners and safeties to handle their business one-on-one in man coverage. That's an aggressive, high-risk, high-reward style, and it worked with the speed and versatility we've got on the roster. But Eberflus? He plays it smarter, or at least more calculated. He'll blitz, but his favorite move is to keep it tight. Just 5 guys going after the quarterback almost every time. Get this. When he was running the Bears' defense, 74% of his blitzes involved exactly 5 defenders. That was 4th highest in the NFL. He rarely sent 6, and he never sent 7 or more in Chicago. Meanwhile, the Cowboys under Quinn and Zimmer did that a lot more often, sending 7 at a clip of about 4% and 6 at around 17%. So you can see it plain as day, Eberflus likes his pressure balanced, not reckless. And it's not just about how many guys go, it's also about what happens behind the blitz. Eberflus leans on zone coverage to keep things in front of his defense. That means fewer risky one-on-one matchups where a quick throw could torch your secondary. It's a chess game. Send heat, but keep the safety net ready to catch any mistakes. Quinn and Zimmer? They trusted their guys to stick to their man like glue. Eberflus trusts his scheme to protect the defense while still getting after the QB. And here's why this should fire you up as a Cowboys fan. You add a Micah Parsons to that plan, and you can get creative in ways Eberflus didn't even have in Chicago. Imagine pairing that smart, controlled pressure style with the freak athleticism we've got up front. It's like giving a chess master an extra queen on the board. So let me ask you, would you rather see our defense stay reckless and high risk? Or do you want to see this smarter, bend but don't break style that can still crush a quarterback? Vote down in the comments. Smarter or riskier, what's your vibe? And if you haven't yet, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you're here every time we break down these deep Cowboys truths. We're on that mission to hit 15,000 subscribers, and your support makes all the difference. All right. Up next, we'll get into what this means for Micah Parsons and why Eberflus's style could unlock him in a whole new way. So with all that in mind, let's talk about the real game changer here. What Matt Eberflus's blitzing habits and defensive philosophy mean for a superstar, like Micah Parsons. Because if you think Micah was disruptive under Dan Quinn, wait until you see what this new approach could do for him. Here's the deal. Eberflus isn't the type to unleash a reckless, all-out assault every down. Instead, he wants to pick his spots, disguise looks, and keep offenses guessing. That plays right into Micah's hands. Why? Because a player with Micah's versatility thrives when he can line up anywhere, stunt from anywhere, and attack gaps that offensive linemen never see coming. In Chicago, Eberflus had success using stunts up front, but not as often as he might have wanted. Mainly because he didn't have a Micah Parsons-level talent to unleash. Now, he's got that chess piece who can line up as an edge, blitz from linebacker depth, or drop into coverage just to bait the quarterback into a mistake. The best part is, with that 5-man pressure Eberflus loves, Micah won't have to run straight into double teams every snap. The scheme itself creates mismatches. That let Micah hunt freely. Think about it. You've got a safer blitz approach with plenty of zone coverage behind it. That means, when Micah comes flying in, the QB can't just flick a quick pass to burn a man defender, because the zone's waiting to swallow that up. So not only does Eberflus protect the back end better, but he gives Micah more chances to create chaos without giving up cheap yards behind him. And here's where it gets even more interesting. We know Parsons loves to play fast and aggressive. Under Eberflus, he can keep that same energy, but do it in a way that's more sustainable over a full season. Fewer snaps getting swallowed by triple blocks, more snaps using angles, disguise, and stunts to slip through and wreck the backfield. It's not just about being aggressive, it's about being smart and aggressive. Now I want to hear what you think about this. Do you believe Eberflus can help Micah reach an even higher level? Drop a comment and tell me if you see Micah winning. Defensive Player of the Year in this new system. And hey, if you're feeling this breakdown so far, hit that like button and help push this video out to more true Cowboys fans. Every like helps us grow this community and smash that goal of 15,000 subscribers. Stick with me, because up next we're going to wrap this all up and talk about why this so-called big lie about Eberflus could actually turn into one of the biggest advantages for our Cowboys defense this season. So here's the bottom line. That so-called big lie about Matt Eberflus being afraid to blitz. Now you know it's just that, a myth. And honestly, it might end up being one of the Cowboys' sneakiest advantages this year. Because while other teams get ready to face what they think is a passive, conservative defense, they're actually walking right into a scheme built on smart, timely aggression that keeps offenses guessing every single down. Look, it's true. Eberflus isn't Dan Quinn or Mike Zimmer. He doesn't send the house, just to show he can. He blitzes with a purpose, using 5-man pressures, creative stunts, and zone coverage behind it to maximize disruption while minimizing big mistakes. And that balance could be the secret sauce that takes this Dallas defense from good to truly elite. Think about the talent on this roster. Guys like Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Osa Odigizua, they're tailor-made for this style. Eberflus finally has the personnel to execute his plan at a higher level than what he had in Chicago or Indianapolis. He doesn't need to gamble with 7-man blitzes when he can trust his front to create havoc and still keep the coverage tight behind it. And here's the real kicker. When you add in the element of surprise, you're not just getting sacks or tackles for loss. You're forcing bad throws, creating turnovers, and giving Dak and the offense more chances to cash in. That's how you win big games come January. And for me, that's what makes this so exciting. The Cowboys might have found the perfect defensive balance at just the right time. So don't let anyone tell you Eberflus is soft or afraid to blitz. He just does it his way. A smarter, more calculated way that could fit this roster like a glove. Now, I'd love to know what you think about all of this. Are you buying the idea that this defensive approach can take us over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get a real Cowboys debate going down there. And before you head out, make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already. We're on a mission to hit 15,000 subscribers here at Cowboys News TV, and every single one of you makes that possible. So tap that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and stay locked in with us all season long. Trust me, this is going to be a wild ride, and you won't want to miss a second of it. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Go Cowboys!